This is the last video in the fractions module, and we're going to learn how to change decimals to fractions. This is a really easy process if you know how to say the decimals a certain way. So if you were to say that this decimal here is 55 hundredths, you've automatically got your fraction. So this is 55 hundredths. Now it's not good enough to leave that like that when you can simplify your fraction down. So here we can simplify by dividing both by 5, so that becomes 11/20ths. Question 2, similar. If we say this number is 179 thousandths, then we've got our question half answered. Now, 179, I can't think of a number that goes into 179 and into 1,000, so that's going to stay pretty much as is. Now this time, we could do this one of two ways. We could say that this is equal to 4 and 395 thousandths, or we could say that it is 4,395 over 1,000. I'll go with this way of doing it for now. So this is 4. We know that both these numbers will divide by 5 because one ends with a 0 and the other ends with a 5. And when you divide both of those by 5, you'll get 79 over 200. And I can't think of a number that goes into 79 and 200, so I'm pretty certain we've simplified that as far as we can go. Negative sign's not really a big issue here. This number can be said as 125 thousandths. So this is negative 125 on 1,000. Now, I know that we can divide both of these by 125. You may not do that though in one go. You may divide by 5 top and bottom and then divide by 5 again and then divide by 5 again. That's okay as long as you get to the right answer, but I guess I'm using years of experience here to just divide by 125. So this is minus 1 over 1,000 divided by 125 is 8. So the answer is negative 1/8. And the last one, looking at this number, this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So this next place value must be 10 thousandths. So that number is 5 10,000ths. And we can divide top and bottom by 5. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 into 10 goes twice with those 3 zeros hanging on. So that's 1 2,000th. Now we're moving on to adding and subtracting decimals. And in this question, we're doing 4.1 take away 3.672. And the first thing you notice is that there's an unequal number of numbers after the decimal point. So we need to put in 2 zeros here in order to proceed. In the thousandths place value, 0 take 2 can't be done, so we try to trade from the hundredths, which can't be done, so we go to the tenths and trade. We take that 1/10, which leaves 0, and we pay back the hundredths place with 10 hundredths. Now we're in a position for the hundredths to pay back the thousandths, so we borrow one of those 10, which leaves 9, and we pay back our thousandths place. So 10 thousandths take away 2 thousandths is 8. 9 hundredths take 7 hundredths is 2 hundredths. 0 take 6 we can't do, so we need to take one of these ones and pay it back as 10 tenths. So now we have 10 tenths take away 6 tenths is 4 tenths. 3 take away 3 is 0. So our answer is 0.428 or 428 thousandths. Now the next question's a little bit trickier because we have negative numbers involved. So we need to think about our negative number rules that were in the whole numbers and integers module. And the first step we need to do here is to combine the double sign to create negative 4.68. Because they're unlike signs, it's subtract 3.194. Now looking at these two signs here, they're the same, so that means we'll need to add these two numbers. So it's 4.68, 3.194. Now, when you're adding numbers, it's not so essential to put a 0 here to make the number of decimal places the same. It was essential in the previous question, but in this one it's not important. So 4 and nothing is 4. 9 and 8 is 17. 6, 7, 8. And 4 and 3 is 7. So far we have an answer of 7.874. And we need to know the sign of the answer. Now remember, the sign of our answer is equal to the sign of the largest number. Our largest number is negative, so we know that our answer here is negative. So it's negative 7.874 or negative 7 and 874 thousandths. Another one involving negatives and positives. So we look at the double sign, they're unequal, so it becomes 301.72 subtract 475.63. Now, if we look at the signs that are in front here and here, well, it looks like there's none in front of the 301, but there's effectively a positive sign, so those signs are different. So because they're different, we'll need to subtract. And you can only ever subtract if you put the largest number on top and the other number underneath. So subtracting, 3 take 2 is 1. 6 take 7 you can't do. We need to go and borrow 1. There'll be 4 ones there, and we'll have 16 tenths. Take away 7 tenths is 9 tenths. 4 take 1 is 3. 7 take 0 is 7. And 4 take 3 is 1. So our answer includes the number 173.91, but is it negative or is it positive? Well, if we go back to the original question here, or the second line of the original part, you'll notice that there's a negative sign in front of the largest number, so that means that our answer must be negative. Does this make sense with the question that we've been given? If you think about, if you started at 301.72 on a number line and you'd move to the left 475.63 positions, I'm sure you'd agree with me that you do end up truly negative 170 something.